everyone, I'm Jay.
And I'm Sean.
And we watch movies.
Yes, we do.
And we're in fact preparing ourselves to watch a whole onslaught of them next week.
What happens next week, Jay?
Oh, it's gonna be the Sundance Film Festival. Oh, yeah, Sundance, here we come. Except for not really, we're gonna stay right here.
It's virtual.
Sundance is coming to us.
That's nice.
Usually you have to go to Utah.
We've never been to Utah.
We've never been to Utah. We have thought about going to Utah for this
Sundance.
festival, which is, as far as I know, the only reason anyone ever goes to Utah. I really, I don't know a lot about it, granted, but I do feel like it's one of those states you flee normally. But we have definitely thought about going to Utah for this festival. Not this year. This year, it's coming to us. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, well, this is the one year we were certain we were not going to travel.
Yes.
So it worked out well.
So it did work out well. So Sundance 2021 starts on January 28th, runs until February 3rd. There are still tickets available. There are different levels. You can buy a pass to the whole festival, a day pass, or just single movie tickets. So check out the website if you're interested. I'm going to name a few of the movies I'm really looking forward to, but they have a huge, huge slate of movies. Something for everyone, I am positive. So Sundance is the one that was founded by Robert Redford way back in 1978, actually.
That's a long time.
And, yes.
That's a lot of newer film festivals. That's one of the older ones.
So it was founded really to celebrate independent American-made movies. So this is where a lot of indie movies get screened and get bought. So it has become kind of a mover and a shaker for that reason. It's not necessarily an awards qualifying festival. It is for independent films to get seen, to get a wide audience, to be reviewed, and hopefully to be purchased.
And there are a lot that have come out of this festival just that way. They do get the
Big time.
attention. They hit it big. You can see it on their DVD covers where
Yes.
they're a Sundance selection.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So a lot of our favorite wacky directors got their start at Sundance with their own little independent films, like Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino and Paul Thomas Anderson, Darren Aronofsky, Steven Soderbergh, Kevin Smith, David O. Russell. Lots of our quirkiest auteur film directors. What do all of those film directors have in common except for Sundance and being weird? They're all men. They're all men, which is not a list that I am very happy with. However, this year, Sundance has got a lot of female directors in its lineup. A lot.
Well, good.
And some really great movies that I'm super jazzed about. So you will find that my list has quite a few female directors, but it turns out men make some decent movies. I know, like, that's controversial, but some of them can do it. Some of them can pull it together. Fun fact, every terrible movie ever made was made by a man. That is a true fact. Look it up.
I think that is true.
It is, because nobody's ever taken a chance on a female director. They only greenlight projects from female directors that are sure bet. So
They've
every
thoroughly
movie,
vetted them.
Yes, every movie that could fail, we'll give that one to a man. And sometimes they do, because he's just a man. Anyways, here we go. Ready?
Here we go.
You write down the ones you want to see.
Okay.
How It Ends. How It Ends is a lot the way it sounds. Okay, this is from director Daryl Ween, but don't worry, Zoe Lister-Jones co-directs and co-writes. And
we like her.
We love our Zoe Lister-Jones from Life in Pieces.
Right.
She is on that show.
Yeah.
But we have actually watched her career for some time. She has written and directed other movies that we've really, really enjoyed.
Yeah, some cool stuff.
Yes, so this movie will go on my list just because of her, because we've enjoyed her stuff so much before this. But this actually sounds really cool, okay? So she also stars in the movie, is invited to a party on the last day of Earth. So, it's not quite post-apocalypse, it's the apocalypse.
Right.
Today is the last day. I think the earth is going to get hit by whatever. So it's the last day. There's a cool party going on. She's invited. But what always happens when you got some really cool plans? Car trouble.
Up. Yeah.
Car trouble. LA.
Classic.
What are you going to do?
And you need a car in LA here.
Yeah. Even on the last day of Earth. So you'll never guess who comes to help her out.
Satan?
Her younger self.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
I know! It's so brilliant. I felt really safe saying you would never guess it. A pretty deep cast on this movie, I have to say. Helen Hunt, Olivia Wilde, Fred Armisen, Lamorne Morris, Nick Kroll. Lots of people helping her out on the last day of Earth.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. How it ends. We're going to find out how it ends.
I'm going to add that to my list.
Good. Okay. Passing. Add this to your list before you even hear about it. I already pre-love this movie.
Done.
Because I read the book. And I pre-loved the... No, I post-loved the book.
You might have during love.
Yeah. So the book is by Nella Larson. This movie is written and directed by Rebecca Hall, another actor turned director. Passing is about two former high school classmates, friends, who run into each other randomly years later, and they sit and have lunch. These two friends are played by Ruth Negga and Tessa Thompson. This is a period piece. And if you couldn't guess by the title, the thing about these two friends is one of these ladies is passing as a white woman and the other is not. So, the tone or the depth of the color of people's skin has really for a long time affected people of color's lives, especially black women. So one of these women had light enough skin that she could pretend to be white, and she is pretending to be white. Which is a risky business, I have to say, especially when you marry a white man played by Alexander Skarsgård. Then it's really dicey to invite your friend Tessa Thompson over. I'm guessing it's Tessa Thompson and Ruth Negga in that order, just judging. I think I remember the characters from the book. We'll see. Will your husband guess? If you suddenly have black friends, will your husband guess your secret? I mean, and I think her husband is not a fan of black people. So it's dicey.
I think that's how it has to go, right?
So I hope this is as good as I'm expecting. I love Tessa Thompson. I actually, love Ruth Negga as well. And I really liked this book, so I have high hopes. So the next one on my list is called Together Together by writer-director Nicole Beckwith. This story is about a young woman, a college student, who agrees to be a surrogate. So she's going to have a baby for a middle-aged single man who desperately wants to be a father. Now, these two are each the definition of loner. They both don't really like people, and yet being in this weird position together, and because he's so eager to be a dad, he kind of keeps inserting himself in her life. She's going through a pregnancy with his baby, his future baby, and so he just keeps showing up. And I think over time, they grow sort of a quirky friendship together. So newcomer Patty Harrison plays the college student, and Ed Helms plays the father-to-be.
So he would definitely strike me as a quirky loner.
He's a believable...
He's a believable quirky loner.
Also a believable single guy who wants to have a baby.
He is, yeah. I don't know what that's about, but
has
he totally is.
Has to take out an ad in a newspaper to get it done.
Yeah. College students only.
Hey, don't be creepy, son. He's a nice guy.
I hope. For all their sakes.
Yeah, true. Okay, so the next one on my list is called Land. So this is about a woman who has been traumatized in life. She's been through some stuff, and she kind of retreats. She can't deal with the world anymore. So she's retreated to this cabin in the woods where she's going to live by herself. But she's never really done this before, so she's really got to, prepare for winter. It's coming. She's going to be there by herself. And of course, she
Cabins in the woods
Yeah.
are always in places where it's going to be winter. I don't know what's up with that.
That's true. Because otherwise it's too buggy.
I guess.
You know? You'd rather take on frostbite, starvation, wolves than mosquitoes.
What?
We all
I mean,
agree.
mosquitoes are
We
terrible.
all
but-
agree,
Okay,
yes.
fine. We all agree.
Okay. So she, of course, suffers injuries, is on the brink of death, and is rescued by a hunter. I know what you're thinking. It's not like that, guys. She's been rescued by a family who's going to help nurse her back, but really, she has to find her own will to live. That's what this is really about, with her just finding a way to deal with life and moving on. So not only does this star Robin Wright, but she directs it as well.
Oh, that's cool.
The first time she has directed a movie.
That's kind of surprising.
Yeah, so she's directing herself, and
Okay.
Damien Bashir plays the hunter. Next on my list, here's a departure. So one of our favorite film festivals to attend is the Toronto International Film Festival, one of the
That's
world's
true.
biggest and most important film festivals.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. But it has its quirky side as well. Most of our favorite film festivals do. Fantasia, of course, is all quirk.
It's 100%.
But like South by Southwest
Yeah.
has like a midnight
It does.
showing. At TIFF, we call it Midnight Madness. I don't know if that's what it's called everywhere, but they have all these horror movies and genre movies that play literally at midnight. They can be wild times.
They can be.
People are passing around, beach balls.
There's all sorts of
People are
traditions.
dressing. Yes,
Yeah.
it's a crazy time, and they're hooting and hollering at the screen. You've never seen everybody who passionately loves horror movies are at these horror movies,
Yeah.
having the time of their lives watching a brand new horror movie that's gonna scare the bejesus out of all of them. This is one such movie. So Sundance also has its midnight section. It's a little worrisome because they're mountain time and I'm
So that's really late.
Eastern time. So it's way past midnight for me. I don't know
Yeah.
how I'm gonna handle this, guys. My timeline is gonna be totally shifted. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna try to do this one, Prisoners of the Ghostland. So this is from director Cyan Sono, about a frontier city called Samurai Town.
Ooh, I like it.
So already we've got samurai, we've got western, it's also post-apocalyptic.
Ooh. And there's ghosts.
And let me lay down the four most glorious words in the English language. Nicolas Cage goes berserk.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay. So he
That's
is,
a Midnight Madness movie.
yes, exactly. A bank robber sprung from jail by a guy who wants him to track down his missing granddaughter, played by Sofia Boutella. So Nick Cage has to do this, and he has to do it in 5 days because he is now strapped into a leather suit that will self-destruct in
Whoa.
5 days.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I mean, why? If he's gonna find your granddaughter on day 6, let him find your granddaughter on day 6.
Sean, sometimes you just gotta light a fire under their ass, okay?
Yes, especially if it's Nick Cage.
Woo.
He does need some motivation.
He needs the motivation. He's getting a little old, You gotta dangle the carrot, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Now, this one I've actually talked about here before. It is Judas and the Black Messiah.
You have talked about this, and it
Yes.
sounds good.
It sounds very good. I'm very excited. This was a more recent addition to the Sundance lineup. When we were talking about it, I was saying that it would be premiering in theaters and on HBO Max simultaneously on February 12th. So I'll get to see it maybe a couple of weeks before you. Hopefully get the review up so you know just how good it is. Goodness gracious, I hope it is good.
Well, but now that you've given people a heads up, they could potentially watch it too.
They could watch it at Sundance.
That's
Yes,
right.
we could all be watching it early. Screw you guys at HBO Max. Cut them right out of the deal. So this one is about Fred Hampton, a real person. This is a history lesson that's going to make us a little bit uncomfortable. But he was a very young, I think 22-year-old leader of a Black Panther chapter. Who, was successful at it enough, said some inspiring things that the FBI, of course, hated him.
Sure.
Put him on the watch list and planted an informant within the party. And this informant's betrayal ultimately led to him being assassinated by the FBI at the age of 22. So Daniel Kaluuya, who's the guy from Get Out,
Yes.
Keith Stanfield,
Who is the guy from a lot of stuff.
also Get Out.
Oh, yeah. I forgot he was in Get Out.
Yeah, I know. I can tell. So, yeah, one of them is the Messiah and the other one's the Judas.
But which will be which?
Well, I know which is which.
That's not a surprise, okay.
So I'm really excited by this one by director Shaka King. And finally, from director Mona Fastvold, we have The World to Come. So a period romance, not a Bridgerton period. This is one of those ugly periods. You know, like when everything was like drudgery and bleak and the 18th century of like settlers and pioneers and stuff.
Oh, yeah, not in a palace somewhere.
No, it is not a super sexy time. And so we have these two kind of frontier-y families, and the wives, of course, imagine just the drudgery of your everyday depressing life.
Oh, it'd be terrible.
Yes. So how
It's
many
like,
of them?
If you can just survive, that's the best that you can hope for.
That is the best that
That's
you
as
can hope
good as
for.
it gets, as I lived today.
Sean, unless there's a sexy lady come to live nearby.
Well, okay.
I don't know if every pioneer woman got to just resort to lesbianism as a, F my life sort of last resort. But these two do. So, Catherine Waterston and Vanessa Kirby. Do you remember what film festival we originally saw Catherine Waterston at?
Nope.
Yeah, of course you don't. It was out South by Southwest.
For what movie?
Alien.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't remember what that new one was called.
Yeah, that's right. So we saw the original Alien with Ridley Scott. Yeah.
And a sneak peek of the new one.
Yeah.
And they were all there. Michael Fassbender. And Catherine Waterston, as I
Who
just
is
said.
the new Ripley in that movie?
Exactly. So her and Vanessa Kirby are going to be the lovers. And Christopher Abbott and Casey Affleck are their disappointed husbands.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know how hot the love scenes are going to get, but I knew they're at least hot enough to make these two marriages buckle. Because you know what? Patriarchy was never more at its height probably than then.
Probably.
The lines between what a man did and a woman did were very, very strict. Because that's all they had. Their lives were so poor that a man had to feel better about himself by, oppressing somebody. So, yeah. He oppressed the people.
And there weren't that many people around, yeah.
No, exactly. Neighbors could be, if you're chopping down your own woods just to clear your own land, it was tough. So, I don't know where they're going to sneak away and do the lesbianism, but good luck to them.
Yeah, maybe they have a shed.
A she shed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So these are just some of the titles I'm getting really excited about, but there are so many more. They've got great documentaries. They've actually got some world movies, so it's not just American stuff anymore. They've got some shorts, and they've got some innovative stuff too. So I'm super excited to check out the entire festival. I don't know how many movies I'm going to end up watching. There
All
are
of them.
Dozens. Yeah, there are dozens on my slate as of right now. I might be slightly manic and crazy if I'm staying up till midnight Mountain Time. Well, no, that's just when they start.
So add an hour and a half plus 2 more hours.
And you're not going to sleep well either because, I only have so many places to put the beach ball. It's going to keep getting back to you. Yes, I'm sorry. What do you want?
Well, that's the only way we can do it because you can't miss out on Midnight Mass.
No. I would feel stupid if I was just watching a horror movie by myself. So that's what I've got to you. Run, don't walk over to the Sundance Film Festival website. Get in on the fun. Get your beach balls now. Inflate them. Get them on standby.
Test them.
Test them, that's right. Just whack them at the nearest sleeping person. Husbands definitely welcome. We can't, I mean, it's lockdown. We don't even have the settlers' ability
No,
to
it's
resort
almost
to
frontier
lesbianism.
times. That's
Yes.
right, because it's only within your own household.
That's right. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.